people are bitching about the PS5 that's going to have its new PSVR 2 has one cable. People are like, oh my God, that's a cable. To put our heads inside of a thing on top of a tabletop.
On top of a
Get the hell
table.
out of here. Get out of here. Bitching about one cable. You crazy.
Good old Virtual Boy.
Welcome to the Enthusiast Gaming Podcast, where today we're going to be discussing video game handheld systems. I'm Matt. You can follow me over on Twitter at FromNJ2CA. The 2's a number 2. I'm here with my good friend Wes. Wes, how are you doing?
What's going on, my friend? I'm good.
Me as well. That's not good English. I'm sorry. It's a terrible way to start the show. I'm also doing well, except for my English. Wes, where can people find you?
You could find me on Instagram at Grendel5XBX, and you can also find me if you're ever down in the Atlantic City area at Level Up Entertainment at the Hamilton Mall.
Next up, just a reminder to please go ahead and follow us over on social media. We're at Nerdthusiast. That's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You can follow us on all those things. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month. You can do that over on patreon.com/nerdthusiast. You guys can vote on poll topics over there. You can get exclusive videos. You get almost all of our videos early and ad-free. And for this video, when we do this video on YouTube, it's going to be chopped up into segments, but you'll get the full version over there on Patreon. So definitely consider supporting us. If you cannot or do not want to support us over on Patreon, totally understand. You guys can support us in some other ways that are free. You can give us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Both of those have ratings attached to them now. So please go ahead and do that for us. Subscribe over on YouTube, ring the bell. All those things really help us out. Thank you so much. Now, before we start the show, Wes, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? You know what? Nothing much, but then a lot at the same time. I had to put Halo down. I'm at the end, fighting the end boss, and I get frustrated because I keep dying. Spoilers.
The Harbinger.
So I put it down, and I recently picked up let me get the name right, a Super Console X Cube, which is basically an emulation machine, and it's got tons of games from just about every console, anything from Atari and Amiga up to Nintendo 64, Dreamcast. And what's surprising, it also comes with several games from the actual Naomi board, which was the arcade version of the Dreamcast motherboard.
That's awesome.
I'm loving it.
So would you say like most of the games you play, like, because sometimes with emulators, there's like some issues like lag and stuff like that. Have you noticed any of that, or is it all running pretty well?
It's running super smooth. I haven't encountered not one glitch, not one laggy issue, nothing. I spend most of my time on like the old arcade games and some Dreamcast stuff, but now everything runs great. 64 games run perfect.
Now you're speaking my language.
I'm loving it.
Just so you guys know, that this is a console that you plug into your television, right? It's like a little box basically that's, everything's already included. You just plug it in and play, right?
Correct. It looks like a little mini original NES console. That's cool. Yeah, it comes with 2 controllers, and the funny thing is the controllers look like PlayStation controllers.
Oh, so
and they're wireless.
The system look like an NES, make the controllers look like a PlayStation.
Look like a PlayStation. They got different versions anywhere, and really, it's the console's the same. It's how much memory you buy. So you can get one with a 64 gig memory card, and you'll get X amount of games, or you can get a 128 gig memory card with it, and they'll get more games. I wound up going for like a 256 because I wanted just about everything they had. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, man, good stuff. What about you? What you playing?
I might have to check one of those out in the future. So I'm kind of in a similar position to where I was before, because I think the last time we ended up recording, By the way, just so you guys know, right now we're recording. It's the beginning of April. It's actually April 6th today. The last time we recorded, I just started playing Horizon Forbidden West, which, our last recording was about a month ago. And I haven't progressed very much far into the game. If you didn't know, I have a newborn daughter, so I'm extremely busy between that and work, as well as doing things from their enthusiast. So I didn't progress very far into the game. I am further than I was, but I don't like main path the storyline. I do a bunch of side quests and things. So I probably put about maybe 30 to 40 hours into the game, but I don't think I'm anywhere even close to finished. But I am enjoying that quite a bit. I definitely recommend Horizon Forbidden West. I did pick up Gran Turismo 7. I did get that game for free, by the way, so just so you guys know. I played it for a solid 45 minutes. This
How
was
is it?
before. It's one of the best looking PlayStation games for sure. I feel the same way about Horizon Forbidden West. Like, these games look fantastic, especially Gran Turismo. Like, once you play like a little tutorial, then it has like this huge opening cutscene. It's probably like 4 minutes long. There's like music. They make it like very cinematic. It's incredible looking. But the gameplay is still Gran Turismo, and it's kind of, not for me. It's boring. I like arcade style racers. It's very not exciting in my opinion. But to each his own. But the game actually had a lot of problems. There were server issues. Well, they did an update to the game. Okay, the update broke something in the game, so they took the game offline for I think a few days actually. And basically, people were unable to play the game because there's a whole bunch of modes and everything. Like, you could do almost nothing offline with the game, which is ridiculous. Like, that game should be it should have a single player version to it. It's Gran Turismo. You know what I
Right.
mean? So there were people upset about that. Luckily, I wasn't too crazy about the game because it's just not for me. I don't think it's a bad game. It's just not for me.
It's still
Um,
Gran Turismo at the end of the day.
it's certainly still Gran Turismo at the end of the day. I haven't played Gran Turismo since probably like 3 or 4 on PS2. So it's been quite a while.
Okay.
I did pick up Kirby in the Forgotten Land as well as Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, but I again had no time. Those are still in the shrink wrap. Hopefully, I'll be able to crack those open and check them out soon. All right, now on to the handhelds. Before we get into all the handhelds, I want to give a quick mention. We are not talking about every handheld console that's ever existed. We're going to talk about a lot of them, but we try to pick ones that are mostly well known for the most part. There's a few, off the beaten path that we just have to talk about because we wanted to, but we're not mentioning every single handheld here. But we are going to start where we think they probably originated from, which would have been back in the day. Mattel made electronic football, baseball, I believe that basketball, and this was just a very simple handheld screen with like red dots.
Yeah.
Did you have one of these things, Wes?
I did. And as you're saying it's I remember having it and playing it. It was very simplistic. Like you said, it was just like red dots that lit up, especially with the baseball.
Oh yeah,
And it was graphicless, if that's a word.
yeah. There was no graphics for sure. You were literally just like, I think football was like X's and O's. I feel like, or something like that. It was so simplistic, man. Just, you guys can go check out videos and stuff. They were made like in, I think, the late '60s or early '70s. I think, are when they started. It's nuts.
Yeah, I want to say for some reason like the late '70s,
Was it?
maybe late '70s.
I don't. We don't know for sure, but you guys can go check them out. They're friggin' crazy. My uncle had one. I remember playing as a kid, and like I'm like, how, this is... by that time NES was out, and I was like, what are you doing with this thing? Like, what? All right, and then the next handhelds that were released. Well, the next one that we're going to mention, anyways. This isn't in chronological order at all, but there was Tiger handheld systems, which they made very basic, like I guess they were like LCD screens, like super basic.
Super basic. I think
It,
the animation was like 3-stage animation because it was only like I guess you saw the little graphic because they made Tiger Electronic games for just about everything you could think of.
oh, they did. They had licenses to all sorts of stuff.
Oh, tons of stuff. But again, the animation it wasn't fluid. It was I want to say it was like a little stick figure. because it was like,
it wasn't a stick figure. They did have like an outline, but like the way they would run, it would be like if you drew pictures in a book and you were like flipping it and
yes,
you like slowly
exactly.
started to see them move. Like that's kind of how the animation was.
But it was
So
only like 3 stages to it.
oh yeah, they were short too, and I, there was a
But then,
Ninja Turtles one that I had that I
yeah.
played a lot of. It was a TMNT one. It was like green. I don't know that Tiger made it necessarily, but they might have. And I played the hell out of that thing just because it was Ninja Turtles. It was not good, but I was a kid and it was Ninja Turtles, so I played the thing all the time.
Man, those things are like collector's items because people like start collecting them because there's so many of them.
Oh, there's tons. I think one of the better ones I think was supposed to be Ninja Gaiden. They made a version of that for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to get my hands on that just because I'm a huge Ninja Gaiden fan. Obviously, you are too, so I'm sure you'd like to check out some Tiger Electronics Ninja Gaiden one day,
Hey, we got Ninja Guide for everything else. Why not grab one of those?
right? And then Nintendo's first systems weren't really, this was before the Game Boy. They made Game and Watches. So these were like little individual handhelds along the same lines as the Tiger Electronic, only, not terrible. And they released like Donkey Kong, the Mario Versus game, I think, was on there. Did you have any of these Game and Watch games?
You know what? I don't remember Game and Watch at all.
Neither do I.
I
I didn't know
remember
about these
just
things until like probably I was probably in my 20s or like maybe early 30s the last time I even like the first time I've ever heard of them.
yeah, I never knew they existed. I never saw one, never had one until like way in my adult years. I was like, huh, never knew that was out there.
I feel like they inspired the Game Boy Micro when they started making those. Do you remember those? Of course, you remember the Micro. You had two
I have two of them. I still have
of
mine.
them.
You know what? Yeah, because there a Game and Watch inspired micro.
I mean, it had similar colors to a lot of the Game and Watches, so I mean that would make sense. Maybe that's why my brain is going in that direction with them.
Okay.
So you have your Game and Watches there. There's a whole bunch of different ones. You guys can go look those up. Now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of the handhelds. This was like what year was this? Was this like 88, 89? Does that sound
Mm.
about right? When the Game Boy came out?
Ooh, you know what? I want to say it's later.
Nah, no way.
I want to say it's early 90s, man.
You're gonna see a cut right here because I'm gonna go look it up. The Game Boy came out April 21st, 1989.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Not only did it come out, Wes, it released with the best pack-in title of all time.
Tetris.
Tetris. Come on, I've played many versions of Tetris. That is probably, if it's not my favorite, it's certainly in the top two. Like, I think the Tetris Connect, that new one that came out, is amazing. But I mean, that Game Boy one,
Everybody. Everybody played Tetris.
everybody.
Everybody.
I had a friend. I haven't talked to him in a little while, but his dad doesn't care about video games at all. But he had a Game Boy Color and he had Tetris. Like, and I'm talking, nobody was playing Game Boy Color. I'm talking like it's probably like the year like 2000, and he's still rocking his Game Boy with Tetris. That's how much he loved. Didn't care about any other video games in the world except for Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris. When the Game Boy launched with Tetris, that turned a whole lot of people on to gaming, I want to say. Because the average person who didn't play games, like you said, everybody played Tetris.
It's those puzzle games, man. Those puzzle games, you can break through the mainstream with a good puzzle game.
Nintendo couldn't do no wrong at that point, but they gave us Super Mario Land. It's like everybody loves Mario.
Did you play Mario Land?
I did.
It was different, completely, like just totally different from the Super Mario games of the past. But it was great.
It was great.
Got in that little ship and shot bullets. You were shooting bullets with Mario and that little. It wasn't a ship. It was like an underwater. What the hell? Submarine, I guess.
Submarine.
Yeah, man. Ah, so much fun. But he jumped kind of weird in that game. Did you ever notice that? He never jumped quite right.
No, I never paid any attention to it. I mean, he jumped. That's what Mario does.
He did jump, but there's something wrong about his jump. It's a little bit off. Go back and play it. It's a little bit off.
Now you want to maybe go back, dig it out, and start playing it again.
Do it. It's fantastic, despite his weird jump. And you mentioned Pokemon. Did you play Pokemon at this period of time?
I didn't. I didn't. I jumped on Pokemon a little later. But I know Pokemon, yeah, because the Game Boy had Pokemon Yellow. No. Blue.
Blue and Red were the first ones, right?
Blue and Red were the first ones.
Okay.
And then they came out with Yellow.
At what point did you start playing Pokemon games?
I jumped on Pokemon. Really? You know what? When the DS came out. Because my first Pokemon experience was...
What?
Was Pearl? Diamond and Pearl. Yeah.
Don't you have Pokemon on N64?
I had Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium.
So they're not like traditional Pokemon games, so you're not
Correct.
counting those?
I'm not counting those. Like, everybody said, oh, you like role-playing games, you have to play Pokemon. It's great, it's great, it's great, it's great. And I kind of dismissed it as like a little kiddie thing. But they were like, no, it's got a lot of RPG elements. You really need to start playing it. So my first exposure was, I think, Diamond and Pearl for the DS. And then I kind of went back because, my son was all into Pokemon, and Crystal, went back and played Crystal and Leaf Green, Fire Red. So, and then I kind of went back and started playing them.
Man, those GBA games, they haunt me. If you guys didn't know, Wes and I both used to work at GameStop, but he works at a retro store now, so he might be experiencing this. Maybe you have a story to tell, but at GameStop, at least, I was there probably I would say they kind of stopped taking the retro stuff for the most part. I think they still take it in, but nobody really does it. I would say maybe 2-3 years ago, people were trading retro games. I don't know how many fake Fire Red and Leaf Greens I saw, man.
Yeah.
Just over and over. I'm like, dude, it's fake. Like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, get out of here. No, not taking in your fake game. Did you have anybody? Do you still have people trying to trade in fake games to you at all like that?
We do. A lot of people say they don't know, but okay, so you were playing this game and didn't realize it was fake.
I mean, a lot of times it is an emulator on a chip. Maybe they really don't know, but I'm just like, come on, look at the sticker, dude. Look at the sticker. You can print something from my computer on the standard HP printer that looks better than that sticker on that game. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, bootleg games, man. That's a discussion for another time.
Oh, yeah. We should definitely do a show about bootleg games.
There you go.
Of course, there was Mega Man games. There was a barrage of those, but I was not playing Mega Man at this time. So were these Mega Man games any good, Wes? Have you checked them out?
They were pretty good. I mean, it was Mega Man on a handheld, so it was a little different than what everybody was used to playing it on Nintendo.
For sure, and I imagine it's pretty different.
It was there. They were different, but it was Mega Man, so people love Mega Man. So they kind of.
I do now, but I didn't understand how good Mega Man was back then.
Mega Man's great.